Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and you are very welcome to this video all about the 10 jobs to do in late autumn in your garden. It's November now. You may be thinking it's about time to retire indoors for the winter, just as I'm about to do. However, there may be a few things you've forgotten to do, and in this video I'm going to run through them. If you are new to the channel, you should know that I garden in what roughly equates to as hardiness zone 9. Now, we don't use that system here in Ireland, but just take it as a rough guide as to how my winters might be. And to kick off, number one thing to do in late autumn is, and it will come as no surprise, to rake leaves. Now, there's lots of discussion about where you should remove leaves from, should you leave them on the ground, etc. But one thing I will say to you is that you do need to remove them from your lawn. If you leave leaves lie there all winter, then they're going to kill off the grass, and that's no fun at all, is it? But don't waste your leaves, because any leaves you can collect now will stand you in good stead and produce a most wonderful substance to spread in your garden in a year's time. So collect up your leaves, place them in a plastic bag, punch a few holes in and close over the bag, leaving them in a quiet corner of the garden to just do their magic stuff for a year's time. One important thing to remember though is that the garden isn't just yours. At this time of year you may come across little creatures such as hedgehogs, and you need to be careful not to disturb them. November is also the optimal time to plant tulips. So why should you leave it so late to plant tulips, either in the soil in your garden or in pots? Well, the answer is that tulips need a cold period in order to flower well. And also, by planting them later, you avoid the likelihood of them contracting fungal diseases such as the dreaded tulip fire. At this later stage in the game, these funguses have, I suppose, gone dormant for the winter, so your tulips are more likely to be okay. Now, you may have seen my recent video where I planted a whole load of tulips in pots, which I can't wait to see in spring. And there was just one pot I didn't have enough tulips to fill. Well, you can bet I ordered some more tulips, and that has now been filled, and I'm all set for spring and a fantastic tulip display. The third job for November is to lift dahlias. That is, if you live in a climate where it's necessary to lift those dahlias to stop them rotting over winter. The received wisdom is that you leave your dahlias in the ground until the first frosts. The first frost comes, it blackens the dahlia foliage, and this triggers the tubers maturing. Then you go out, you dig them up and you store them over winter. Now, whether the first frost actually triggers the maturation of the tubers, I don't know. But the longer you leave those dahlias intact, with their leaves growing and photosynthesizing and pulling all the goodness from the sun into the tubers, the better for the plant and the better for its outcome next year. So, lift your dahlias. Along the same lines, ensure that your tenders are protected for winter. So whether these are bananas or pelargoniums or salvias or a whole range of subtropicals that you might have chosen to grow in your garden, they need to be protected, and that may involve bringing them into a greenhouse or mulching them thickly or even fleecing them up. Whatever you do, do it now. And on to number 5, which revolves about pruning your bleeders. So these are birch, acer, hornbeam, lime, laburnum, a whole variety of deciduous trees that tend to bleed sap if cut at the wrong time. Now, just to dispel your worry a little bit, bleeding sap will normally do no harm to an otherwise healthy tree. However, it makes sense to prune the tree when it's less likely to bleed. Different trees should be pruned at different times, and you should check out a reliable source for your particular tree. The RHS website is a great one, but generally speaking, many of them need to be pruned by midwinter, which is the 21st of December in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm taking the example of my grapevine, which I grow in the greenhouse with the root outside. And this needs to be pruned after the leaves have finished falling, but before Christmas. Number 6 is to bring your ornamentals under cover. Now, this one relates to a variety of garden ornaments that we may have, from wooden to anything that is small and stone. Obviously, you can't move larger things indoors, but even if something is completely weatherproof, it's going to benefit from being brought under cover in winter and just extend its life cycle. And don't forget about your clay pots. These are a wonderful resource, and you don't want them to crack if we get a heavy winter with lots of frost. There are a couple of things you can do. You can put them in a greenhouse, but you mightn't have the resource to do that, in which case lean them up against the outer wall of your house, because the heat from your house will kind of emanate out and just help keep the frost off. Alternatively, you could raise your pots on little feet, and that should stop them cracking if we get a hard winter. Don't forget the greenhouse either, and on nice bright days, albeit a little bit wet like today, open up the doors in your greenhouse to ensure good air circulation. This is essential to stop the build-up of funguses and other nasty things. And do try and keep it tidy and neat, so as leaves fall off plants in your greenhouse, pick them up and tidy them away. Circling back to leaves again, they do need to be removed from paths. So whether it's paving or tarmac, sweep them up. By removing leaves, you keep your paving clean, and they can always be added to your leaf mould pile, that resource that you're going to be so glad of in a year to come. And number 10 is that in November, you should be thinking about the final lawn cut of the year. Cut your lawn, clean the lawnmower, tuck it away for the winter. Now, having said that, this doesn't mean that you can't cut your lawn in winter. Occasionally, on bright, dry, crisp days when the ground isn't wet, you can cut, and this will do your lawn no harm. The only danger is if it's been raining and the grass is very wet, then you can end up damaging it if you put the lawnmower on top. And along those lines, a little something I like to do at this time of year is to give the edges of the flower beds their final cut. So this is cutting where the grass comes up against the flower beds with the shears, and that just makes everything look neat and crisp and new for winter, and hopefully will reduce the likelihood of me having to recut my edges in spring. And so that brings me to the end of this video on the 10 jobs to do in your garden in late autumn. I hope you found it useful. Maybe you're not going to do all of them. Maybe you're just going to do a few of them. Maybe there's something I've mentioned that you haven't thought of before, but it might be useful for you to do. And if so, well, that's just great. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.